Hello all, welcome back. So in our Selenium with Java series, we were looking into how to design a framework from scratch. So in our previous sessions, we have seen how we can really add a new project and then add all the dependencies that we need. And also we have seen a basic test case by sharing our driver object and preparing the base test. And we have seen why do we need to have a framework. Okay, so all these things. So today I will be showing you a couple of demerits with the current way what we are doing and what else extra things we can do. See, framework is all about always writing the flexible test cases or flexible code or better writing standards so that it can be scalable. In the sense, when you are adding more and more test cases and more scenarios, then your existing test methods or whatever the logics that you're writing should be reusable, or else the repetitive of the test blocks or your any utility methods that you're writing is becoming increasing with repeating, so that the maintenance will be difficult. For an instance, in our previous session we have seen, right, I have created two test cases. One is the test login, which is a valid test login, and then another one is an invalid login. So probably so if you see, these two test cases are pretty much similar. There is not at all a big difference. The only difference is that the password that I'm sending, so this particular string that I'm sending here, secret sauce 1 I'm sending, but if you come back to here you can see it is the correct password. Now, which is not a good practice, right? Because we are always giving repeating the same thing, like as you see, all these things are repeating here, even if you see all these things. Okay, so the first thing that we are seeing is the driver.get. See, any test cases that you're executing, I mean, in a single shot, the browser URL has to be unique, right? You don't want to have 10 test cases for Google and then 10 test cases for Facebook or anything. It is not like that. One run, the URL is fixed, mean the browser under test is fixed. For sure, different navigations you will do, but the actual URL or the application remains constant, right? So for that, what I'm going to do, this driver.get, I will be moving it to here actually. So in this sense, what I can do here, so I will say driver and then dot get, and I will be taking that URL. So let's take this one and copy and paste it here, so that now what will happen, this base test, whatever before class I have written, now it is applicable for both of these methods, right? So now I can safely remove this one from here, and the same thing I will be doing from here. And this WebDriver wait also at this moment I don't need. I will let you know in future how to wait for an element by using a utility method. But yeah, at this moment, as I was telling, the problem is that I'm repeating the locators. Now tomorrow, let's say that this password field, I need some other test case. Again, I need to do driver.find element, right? Now you might say, what is the problem? It is just one line of code. You can copy paste from each test case and you can perform that action, right? So the problem is that, let's say that your developer changed this password to secure text or something else. Now what is happening, you need to now identify in your test case how many different test cases you have mentioned this password field, or you are locating that. You need to traverse through each file and then change that, which is difficult and time consuming. I would say it's not difficult, but it is time consuming. Okay, so that is the reason we need to have a better approach. There are a couple of different approaches are there. I will be talking each of them one by one. For the first time, I will be talking about the page factory. Okay, so there are two concepts that we will be learning in this particular session. One is page object model and another one is the page factory. So what is page object model? So page object model is basically what it says, that for each and every screen of your application, you need to create one Java file or a class. So let's say that if you are using login, so for login page you need to create a login.java file which will contain all the locators and the respective actions in that. For an instance, let's say that if I go to this application source demo which we were using, right? So here there will be couple of different screens should be there, right, after you log in. So this is my home page, or I would say that login page. Once you do a successful login, you will get the products page. So now what the page object model is saying, that for each and every screen of your particular application, all the objects, in the sense this username field, this password, buttons, all the text, all these locators, you need to keep it in one file. Okay, now let's say that we are going to a product page, so all the product page details, actions as well. Now see, what are the actions we can do in this? I can enter the username, I can enter the password, and I can click on this login. So there are 3 tasks I can do in this. But what are the locators? Username, password, and this one. So the objects are nothing but the web elements. Actions means it is a login action. All these things I will be keeping into a separate file. Now what is the benefit? The benefit is that if you are writing that in isolated file, you can access those particular elements and the actions wherever you need in your test cases, whether it is 1 or 50 test cases, you don't care. So it is the same concept, right? Write once and then utilize it as many as times you want. So any changes you need, like I said, if your password is changing, what do you need to do? You need to just change in one place, that is your login page.java. Okay, so that is that simple. So let's take that approach. What I'm going to do under this test, I can do one thing. I can take a package and I will say pages. You can give any name, but I'm just giving as pages. Under this, I will be creating a Java file. Okay, and there I will be telling login page. Okay, now inside this login page, as I told, I need to mention all of these things. Okay, so I can write in this way. Let's go to here. So what I'm going to do here, I'll say public, okay, web element, because all are web elements, right? So I will say web element and username. Let me write one by one. Okay, so what I'm doing here, as you can see, so this is the login page.java file, right? So inside this, I'm creating a constructor here. So this is my constructor. So what I'm doing, I'm taking a local driver object. Now that one I'm assigning with page driver.getDriver, because see, to perform any action, like to identify an element, we know that we should be using the driver. Now from where I should be getting this driver? So I should be getting from base test, right? That is nothing but page driver.getDriver. So this is nothing but the setters and getters of a page driver. Now here, how do I call this one? So what I can do now, I can go back to here. And at this moment, as I told, we need to even make an approach of actions as well. So these are all web elements, username, password, and sign in. Now I need to use the actions, because I told all the web element and actions has to be inside the page classes. So here I will say public void login, because I don't want anything to return here. But what I'm going to do, so username dot send keys, I will be doing something, and then password dot send keys. And then the next thing is that I will say sign in dot click, because it is just simple click only. Now inside this I need to pass something. So here what I can do, I can say string username, and then I will say another one string password. I will tell you why I'm not hard coding here. There is a reason behind that. So first let me write all these things. See, the reason I'm not hard coding here, okay, this has to be this one, and I can make it as capital P, and here I'll make it as capital P. Okay, so the reason why I'm not hard coding here is that you can see the same login I'm using in different places, but what is different? I'm just sending a different string only here. So that is why I'm making, if I make it as a strict here, like instead of making it a dynamic, if I hard code it, then I can only use in this valid login only. For invalid login, again I need to create another login method with invalid credentials, right? Which is not a good practice actually. So as much as possible, I need to make it as flexible. So this is nothing but when you scale your test cases, in this sense, when you are increasing your number of test cases with different parameters and scenarios, your method should be able to handle those things. For valid credentials, for invalid credentials, now my login method can handle that. What I'm going to do now here, so I don't need all these things, right? So I can just comment all these things. Okay, so here I'll take it like this. Now inside this, what I'm going to do, see, I need to create an object actually to access this one, so that the driver object will be initialized, and then I can access these particular variables or methods. I don't want to take any of the web elements to my test case, because I think last session also I told, as much as possible we need to avoid the implementation, test case implementation inside your test case. You have to keep, that's how we have taken all the driver dependencies, we have taken browser dependencies. The same way now we are taking all the web element dependencies as well. So now how do I do this? So I will first create an object of this. So I'll create an object and I will say new login page. Okay, like this I will be taking. And now here what I will do, login page. Oops. So let's see what is this error it is showing. Okay, it's saying that it is not public. Don't worry, let's make it as public so that the error will be gone. And now what I am going to do, so I will say login page dot, you can see the login method is coming. I don't want to use sign in, like do I need to do login dot sign in dot send keys? No, because I have to create a login method. Now this one I will be taking. Now here it need two parameters, right? The first one is that the string, username string, first I need. The second one I need the password string. So here, okay, and I will be taking. Now you can see how we have isolated all the dependencies and all the implementations I have kept it under. And you can see slowly even I have removed the WebDriver dependency also, so that your WebDriver is only required for this page classes only, like here only. Test cases only, it has to be the test steps. As much as possible you need to avoid the implementation. Like the user who is looking into this test case, they don't care about what are the implementation behind this login. Straight login, what are the different things I need to send it. Now the same line of code I can take it to here, and I will say, so instead of a valid login, I can just take an invalid login or invalid password, and all these things I can comment it. Now you can see, so I have written only once this login method into this login page, but I'm using in multiple test cases. Now any problem to this login method, I can go to this implementation, I can change it to username to user email, password to secure text, anything that your developers are changing. So that is the benefit of that. Now another thing is that, so this is about a page object model, right? Now think about in tomorrow, after you log into this, let me show you this one. Now after this is my product page, right? So what you can do, you can copy this one and you can create another page class, and that should be your products page. So products, depending on your application, whatever that particular screen is all about, whether it is account, themes, settings, whatever it is there, you can just create that page. And here you will be keeping not all this username password, but anything related to this, like this particular logo, this product text. Like for an instance, let's say that I'm going to this, I'm identifying this. You can see there is a class title actually. Like you can use selectors hub, and you can see if there is a selectors hub. So I will say title, and you can see there is one instance that is okay. Let's get like this. And now if I am highlighting this one, you can see there is only one instance only, so I can freely utilize that one. So what I can do here, so I can go to the products page, I'll say by class name, or I can say by CSS selector, and here I will say dot title. I can do like this. Now instead of this I will be keeping as products text. I will say products text, some name I'm giving here. Now here you can wait for that product. I will say wait for product. See, after login you need to verify, right, whether it is logged in successfully or not. So in that case you can create a method, and then here you can write the logic to wait for that particular particular element. For an instance, let's say that let me write everything here quickly. So I'll say like this. Oops, I can do like this here as well, and here I will say WebDriver wait, and then wait. Okay, now here what I'm going to do, wait dot until, and here I will say expected conditions dot presence of element located. Presence of element located of what? Actually this particular products text. Okay, I can do like this. So now what will happen, if my product text is visible, then it will be coming here. So I can give something, because it is web element, right? So I can try something, visibility of element. Yeah, visibility of element here, and duration, let's import this one. Fine. So I can do like this as well. Now here what I can do, after successful login, I'll say products page, and I will create again another product page equal to new products page. So every time you are using any kind of page, you need to create an object of that, so that the driver will be initialized, and here you just need to do wait for product. That's it. Now you can see all these implementations are very much understandable, right? Whoever is seeing that, and how it is waiting, you don't need to care about that. You just write those logics, all the actions and everything. Like tomorrow, let's say that on this products page, let me close this, let's say that you want to handle this drop down. Now what you can do, you can write the logic of handling the drop down, selecting some elements inside this products page, so that you can just utilize the actions in your test case, not the implementation. Fine. Okay, so now at this moment my everything is ready. Now where exactly the page factory is coming into the picture? What is page factory? So what exactly is page factory is telling? It is supporting your page object model. Let me show you the Selenium documentation for page factory. So it has very good documentation they have given here, like what exactly they are doing. Like if you see here, there is something called making the example work with the annotations. So they're giving couple of annotations, but before to that, let me just give you. So in order to use the page factory, first declare some fields on a page object, means what I am doing now, that are web elements or web element. For an example, something they are giving, but don't worry about that. I will be showing you those things in detail. And if you want to go more about this page object pattern, which I just explained it, you can look into these things as well. So here they have explained very good actually how you can segregate each screen based on your application. So you can even look into that as well. Fine, but now we are focusing into the page factory. Now let's see what are the different things they are providing. So what they are saying, that you don't need to every time utilize this driver.find element. Like let's say that if you have 15 to 20 web elements are there on your screen, so every time you need to do driver.find element and everything. So what they are saying, for easy of writing the test cases, they are giving some annotations. Here you can see certain annotations they are giving, which you can use to identify the elements actually. Okay, so as you can see here, the annotation is find by. So they're giving you one option where it is giving find by. Okay, so by using this find by, you can use any locator strategy we have in Selenium. Like you can use name, ID, XPath, CSS selector and everything. So you just need to write 2 lines of code where you have to specify @find by, and then what is the locator strategy you are using and the actual locator value. Okay, then you have to say web element. See, this is also I'm doing here web element, right? And these are the locator strategies, and this is the value. For an instance, if I want to implement that here, the page factory, what I need to do, first thing is that, and you don't need to use any kind of extra library for that. Selenium gives you by default, actually out of box. So here you need to say how, okay, and then dot, you can see, okay, it's capital HOW, and then you say dot, and in this case you will see how dot name, or you will say, for an instance, let's say, I think it is small letters only, and then let's import this one. Once you import this, and if you keep a dot, you can see all the locator strategies you are getting. At this moment we are looking for actually CSS selector, right? So you can see there is a CSS selector. Now comma, and you have to give the actual string, so that is nothing but title. Okay, title. Okay, now here what you need to do, now here public, because you need to access it in different classes if you need, and then you have to say public web element, and you have to say products text, that's it. And you can just avoid this one. Now here how dot, okay, you have to give how equal to this one, and then the same way using equal to, sorry, using equal to. Okay, so here actually one more thing we need to do a change. So if you see, we are declaring these things here, I mean declaring and then assigning this, right? So what we need to do actually, so we need to make it like this, and then inside this method we need to write the logic to access all these things. Let me do one small thing. Okay, so this is my classic approach which I have shown on the first time, but this is the way we are using the page object model, right? Sorry, page factory we are doing. Let me copy paste these things as well to here, so that we can have a solid page factory for all these screens. Okay, so I will be quickly updating all these things. And here, as you can see, I don't want this driver dependency now, so I will be removing this one as well. So that's the benefit of using your find by actually. So here, let me just copy paste all these things real quick, and this is my username, and this is my password, and this is login underscore button, okay, and everything is ID only here. So you have to use how.id, and the same thing how.id, and this has to be how.id. That's it. Okay, so now you can see, as I told, that everything is correct, but it won't execute, right? Let me give it a try and then show you what is the error it is showing. So at this moment, let's go to this login and right click and run. And as you can see, it launched successfully, but it didn't enter those username, password and sign in button and everything. Let's see what is the problem. So you can see driver is initiated. It means that the driver object is created properly from here. I have kept a driver initiated here. So getters and setters are good. Browser is launching with the application. The problem is that it is getting null pointer exception into this username field. The reason is that, see, I told that by writing this, we are avoiding the driver.find element. But this particular page factory need a driver object actually for that. Now what is it? For using that, we will use this login page as a constructor. So in this, we need to use something called as page factory, because we need to link the driver object with this particular page factory. So we need to initialize that. You can see there is something called as page factory dot init elements. Now inside this, it need actually that particular driver object. So here what I'm going to do, so driver, and then the next parameter would be this actually. So the same thing, I will be copying this one for the products page as well. Now this means this is referring to this particular class, so that for this class, this driver will be initializing here. So fine, we have got the driver object from this page driver dot get driver, and then we are getting this init element. Then only my test cases will be, or the web elements will be initializing. So now let's go to the test case login, the first test case, and right click on this and run this one. So Okay, let me just go back to this one and sign out, and then come back to this, right click, inspect, and then you see this one, id is login hyphen. Okay, it's hyphen, actually I have given underscore actually. And then what I'm going to do here, so I will give some weight here so that you can see it logged in, and then it is going to the next page. So I will give 2 seconds here, and then after that it will wait for 2 seconds. After the product is verified, then it will close my test case or close the browser. So let me quickly run it again. Okay, so as you can see, now it executed successfully with the page factory, whatever we are using. So now this is the combination of your page object model with page factory, where you are keeping all of your objects and then the actions in one particular file, which is depending on a screen wise, so that if you need this, so now in tomorrow, let's say that you need this username field into some other page as well, not just the test case. If you want to use that in any products page or anywhere, so then what you can do, in the products page you can create an object of this login page, and you can use any of the elements actually here. Normally what we do, there are certain scenarios, like let's say that your menu bar, okay, menu bar is accessible in all of your screens. So do you really need to keep all the elements in all the pages? Not really. What you can do, any common elements, web elements that you have, so here you can right click, new Java class, and you can say base page. Now inside this, all the common elements that you can use across your different screens, you can specify here. Normally if you want to click on a delete, if you want to click on a add button, or your menu bar elements, click on the sign out, all these things you can just mention inside this, all the page elements, like as we are using this. Now there are a couple of things. If you go to this documentation here, you will see what it is telling. There are a couple of things it is giving. Now instead of this how equal to how and then using, you can give a short format as well. You can just specify like this, id equal to, and you can remove this instance as well. Okay, you can give like this. Okay, so this is not just limited to id, you can give any locator strategy. For an instance, let's say that we are using css here, right? So what I can do, I can just say like this, css and then equal to. So this is one of the shorter notification of that how and then using equal to, right? You can even specify, your test cases will work fine this one as well. Let's see, there is some other things. See what exactly it is telling. One wrinkle, so one problem with this is that every time we call this method on the web element, the driver will go and find it on the current page again. Means, see, at this moment I'm let's go to this one. So I'm taking this username, right? Now let's say that in another method I'm using this again, the same username only. For an instance, let's say that I'm giving here another login, just something I'm saying login invalid for an instance. Okay, I'm using this username variable, right? Now what it does, for this username, it is going back to your screen, it will go to the current DOM and it will identify that element. Again we are using this same username variable, right? Still it will go again to your HTML DOM on that current DOM, and it will try to search it, which is a time consuming, right? Because every time you are using this variable, let's say that you have used it 50 times in your framework, then 50 times it will go back to your particular HTML DOM on that current instance, and it will try to search that the same identification. So if you want to, let's say that you are confident that throughout my execution this username will remain as this username only. So you don't want to every time Selenium to go back to your HTML DOM and search it. So what you can do, there is a quicker way, is that you can cache the lookup actually. So what you can do, you just need to write like this, another one, and you can just import this one. So what will happen, every time you want to use this password, it will be saved into your local cache, so that it won't go back to your HTML DOM and search it every time you are using that. So this is one of the benefit of that. Okay, So these are all different ways, and even it's not only limited to find by, even you can do multiple find by locator strategies as well, like in an instance where you can give multiple locators in that. So let me show you that as well. So what you can do, it's not only find by, you can use find bys as well. So you can see there is a find bys, and it is giving you a like a method actually here. So what you can do inside this, you can specify multiple find by inside this in the way. So you can say like this, and then after that you can say id equal to something, and then you can give a comma, again you can give a find by. Okay, so find by, and you say that, let's say that you want to go for css equal to something. Now what it does, so every time you are using this find bys, let me just make this one public. So here what this is doing, so multiple find by you can specify inside this find bys. So if your test case, if your locators are matching, let's say that id equal to some x I'm mentioning here, and I'm mentioning as y, so any element that is matching these two criterias, then only it will be identified actually, else it won't. So it is like an AND operator. So here let me just say AND operator. Okay, so let's say that the id matched but css selector is not matching, then it won't identify that particular element. Okay, so the same way actually you have something called as find all actually. So here let me give you another one. So this is my find all. Okay, now this is again the same what you call, the same way how you are using find bys, but in this case what it will do, it will search if one of these matching criteria is coming, or one of this criteria or locator is matching. So this is basically your OR operator. So let's say that I have two elements where the id is matching in one element, another element css selector is matching, then both the elements will become and capture into this items list. Okay, something I'm giving as a name. So this is AND operator where all the locators strategies I'm mentioning should be matching. Here if any one of them are matching, then it will be identified here. So this is one of the way. So there are three different find by. So this is for single element, this is for multiple element with if multiple search criteria. See, another thing I'm telling, don't get confused that if the list of web element we can use it in find bys only, even we can use it here as well. For an instance, if I'm giving here, let's say that I am using an id where it is, let's say that name, and here I'm saying items name. So here also I can specify, so multiple criterias, right? If it is matching with multiple criterias, then you can specify list of web element. Okay, so list of web element is applicable for find by, find bys, and find all only. And the only reason why I'm saying this AND or operator, mostly we are using list because you might get multiple elements with the same matching criteria. Okay, so that's pretty much it about the page factory implementation with respect to the page object model. There are different ways that people are using. We will be seeing couple of ways of implementing the framework in our upcoming session. So stay tuned and do subscribe to this YouTube channel if you haven't. Thank you for watching.